In this video, I demonstrate many ways to reach shots that are tough to reach. One way to reach long shots is to move your grip to the end of the cue and increase your bridge length. You just need to be careful to keep things as still as possible during the stroke. Because it is difficult to keep a longer stroke straight with a really long bridge, it helps to use a shorter stroke. Having a longer cue can help, especially when a long reach is required. Because I am tall, I keep a joint extension in my cue. This lets me reach longer shots with greater ease. A common alternative is to use a temporary butt extension. Just be aware that extensions add weight to the cue, so it can affect your speed and spin control. Again, I always have the joint extension in my cue, but I sometimes also add the butt extension to make it even easier to reach long shots. Even really long shots like this. To reach a long shot, it can help to lean on or over the table like this. When you are stretched and a little uncomfortable like this, it is very important to try to be as still as possible during the stroke, since there is a natural tendency to move out of the position. For a long stretch, you can even put one leg up on the table like this. For shots close to a rail, you can lean on and reach over the table from the side like this. Always do your best to keep your vision center over the cue, otherwise you won't perceive the line of the shot correctly. Sometimes it helps to sit on the rail to reach a shot, in this case shooting behind my back. Be aware that the rules require that part of at least 1 foot must be in contact with the floor. It is difficult to stroke straight with the cue behind the back like this, but with a little practice it can be reliable. Did you notice the slight swipe in my stroke to my left, causing unintentional left side spin? It looks like I need to practice this a little more if I expect to trust it in game situations. Sitting on the table, again with 1 foot on the floor, also helps with shots like this. If you put a bent leg on top of the table, you can get even closer, assuming you are flexible. It also helps to have long legs to be able to reach the floor with the other foot. An alternative to reaching behind your back for shots like this is to just use the opposite hand to shoot. I'm not very good at this because I've never really practiced it before, and I'm a little spastic with my left hand. Because there are so many other effective options, I don't really see a need to try to learn to shoot well with my opposite hand. But if you are ambidextrous, this might be a good option. Otherwise, I think time is better spent learning to master the mechanical bridge or other techniques. Here's an example jump shot that is difficult to reach with either a standard stance or a sidearm stance. But using a dart stroke with a shortened jump cue instead, it is very easy and comfortable to reach. The dart stroke jump technique is very easy to master. See the videos at the link below if you want to learn it. The dart stroke can also be used for other elevated shots, like when reaching over an obstacle ball. Even though I'm not hitting a jump shot, the jump cue and dart stroke make it easy to reach the shot. When none of the other methods work effectively, you can instead use a mechanical bridge. The videos at the link below cover mechanical bridge technique in great detail, but the main tips are: get as low as possible, stabilize the bridge on the table with the non-shooting hand, and hold your elbow out to the side with a dart-type grip, being careful to move the cue as straight as possible. With a cue extension, you can instead use a regular stance and stroke with a mechanical bridge. I prefer this method when I need more power or control since it feels more natural. Drawing back for shape on the 8-up table feels routine to me with this bridge technique. When you need to reach far and over an obstacle ball, using a taller bridge is necessary, but most bridge heads can be turned to provide the necessary height. For a shot like this, I prefer to point my elbow down instead for a standard dart stroke. And if you need to reach over a group of balls, stacking and extending one bridge on another can get the job done. Notice how I'm using my cue to help slide the bottom bridge to get the correct aim. If there are no other balls in the way, you can lay the cue on the table, pinch under the cue at the joint to raise the tip a little, and hit the butt of the cue with your hand. I can easily create draw for shape on the 8 in the side. Did you see the butt pushing technique? It is surprisingly reliable. Give it a try. A final alternative is a reverse stroke. One approach is to place the cue on the table along the required line of aim, then bridge from the pocket side with the hand held firmly on the table. I need to be careful to not double hit the 11, so I use a dart-type grip close to the bridge hand. Flicking my wrist into the bridge hand with a high tip position will enable the cue ball to go forward with a single hit. Here's another reverse stroke, useful if there are many balls in the way of other techniques. I'm using a jump cue for short length and bridging on my leg on the table for support. This type of reverse stroke is a nice trick to know if you need it. I hope you learned a few new ways to be effective when needing to reach for shots. As always, see the links below in the video description or pinned comment for more information and examples. Good luck with your game from Dr. Dave. Thank you.